friends, welcome. So today we are going to do a quick mini flow focusing on the hips, the legs, shoulders. This is great for walkers, runners, or if you just want to focus on those areas. I am going to demo with a set of blocks, but if you don't have blocks, you can always stack books or use no props. And I am also 20 weeks pregnant, and so this flow is also prenatal friendly. Well, let's get started. All right, starting at the top of our mat, we'll inhale, hands up to the sky, exhale, forward fold, and we're gonna keep our stance nice and wide. So our feet will come to the edges of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine here. Maybe you come up on your fingertips or hands to thighs. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna start to walk our feet back in a wide-legged down dog. We're just gonna breathe here. Lowering to our knees. And set our blocks to the side. Finding a neutral spine. We'll inhale, gaze up. Exhale, rounding the spine. Coming into a couple rounds of cat-cow. And coming back to center. Then from here, we are going to bring our knees wide and we're going to send our hips back for child's pose. Letting our forehead rest on the earth, or you can always use a block or a bolster. We're going to stay here for a couple of moments. If your hips are feeling tight, we'll bring our legs further on the edges of our mat. And if you want to focus more on the lower back, we'll bring legs together. If you are expecting, I suggest bringing knees to the outside edge of your mat to make space for baby. And coming up to neutral spine, we are going to come into bird dog. So we are going to lift the right hand, right arm, left leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg. And here is a perfect opportunity to add core after your workout, where you can go tap down and back up. Or you can just stay here for a couple moments, focusing on pointing the big toe down. And release, other side. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And maybe you take time to do the taps, which can help our lower back and safely work our core. But that is up to you. We can also hold the pose here and release. Working into the shoulders. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, threading it through. Maybe walk left fingertips out to deepen the stretch. And bringing that top arm in, pressing up to release. Other side, inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Maybe you walk those fingertips out. And then bringing everything back and release. Tucking our toes, sending our hips up for down dog. Taking a nice down dog here, starting to pedal out the feet, getting into those calves that might be feeling a little tight. And looking down at our fingers, spreading our fingers flat on our mat. Meet at the top of our mat. Reaching for our blocks if we're using them. Forward fold, halfway lift. Think about creating a nice long spine here. Forward fold, rolling up. Inhale, hands overhead. We're gonna interlace the fingers, press the palms up towards the ceiling. We're gonna exhale to one side, getting into our side body. And center to the other side. And back. And release. All right, meeting again at the top of our mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Halfway lift, forward fold. We're gonna step the right foot back, lowering down to the right knee. Coming up. Both hands on the top of the left knee. Reaching for our blocks, or maybe it's just your hands. We're gonna bring both blocks, both hands to the inside of our left foot. And we're gonna slide right leg back. Breathing here, checking in with your alignment, making sure knee is over ankle. I know this can be a very intense hip flexor stretch. Remembering to breathe. Each exhale, send breath to that place you're holding tension. And walking the blocks back for a nice stretch behind the legs. You're welcome to stay here, or maybe you point the toes and flex, point and flex. A few more breaths. And walking the blocks forward. Opening up the hip a little more. So we're gonna take our knee, we're just gonna gently press it out so we come onto the edge of our foot, the edge of our pinky toe. And that's just a variation of lizard. We can also lower our blocks or come directly down onto our elbows to get into the pose a little bit deeper, which can feel really nice on the hips. And coming back up, we're gonna lift the knee up and we're gonna pivot the back foot so we have warrior 2 feet. Straighten the front leg. I like to use a block to bring the earth up to me. Coming into triangle pose. So right arm reaches towards the sky. Think about this front knee. Let's lift the kneecap by flexing the quad. Triangle pose. Think about opening the chest here. If this is too much on your arm, you can always bring hand to hip, peeling the shoulder back, bending into the front leg, warrior 2. Gaze over the front middle finger, flipping the palm, reverse warrior. And back to warrior 2, extended side angle. Reaching the top arm overhead. Think about opening the chest here. And coming back to our blocks. Turning all our toes to the front of our mat. And then we are going to step up right where we started. And now we have to make it even, and we'll bring it to the other side. So we'll step the left leg back, lowering the back knee, the top of our foot flat on our mat, bringing the blocks, our hands to the inside of the right foot, sliding left knee back down our mat. The option, you can always bring hands here or on your block. Breathing into the hips. You may notice one hip is a little bit tighter than the other. Totally normal. And walking the blocks back. And pointing the toe and flex. Point and flex. Stretching the hamstring. And walking blocks back up. We'll open that knee, coming to the edge of our foot, or you can bring your foot back down, lowering down to our forearms, opening up the knee a little bit, for lizard, another really great hip opener. And bringing everything in, tucking the back toes, lifting the knee, pivoting our feet to warrior 2 feet. So our front heel will be perpendicular to the back foot, the back of our mat. Reaching the left arm up. With option, you can bring block in front of your foot, behind your foot. Maybe you bring a hand to your shin. Think about the front of the knee. We'll lift the kneecap up. Gaze towards your fingertips. And bending into the front leg. Warrior 2. Gaze over the front middle finger, flipping the palm. Reverse warrior. Maybe you feel a nice stretch in your side body arm. And warrior 2, extended side angle. Reaching the top arm out. Think about opening the chest here. Sometimes that subtle movement can make all the difference. And slowly, being mindful of the spine, we'll bring our hands back down to our blocks. Pivot all the toes so they're facing forward. Stepping left foot to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold, rolling all the way up. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale. Heart's starting to cool our body down a bit. We're going to take a nice wide stance on the edge of our mat. Coming down to a wide-legged forward fold. We're going to come into Skidasana to stretch the inside of our legs. So we'll walk our blocks to one side. Feeling a nice stretch in the inner thigh. And then pressing up, walking blocks to the other side. You can also do this on fingertips. And back to center. And so we're gonna bring our heels in, point our toes out, and bring everything closer together. We're gonna exhale into yogi squat, or it's called malasana in Sanskrit, or some people call this pose garland pose, lots of different names. And option here, if you have a bolster, pillow, blanket, you can use your blocks to support your seat. And feel free to experiment, see what feels good on your body today. This is just a really nice hip opener. We're going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Now we're going to start to release. Bring our hands behind us and releasing to our seat. Wide-legged straddle. Option to use blocks, or you don't have to. You might not have to go far before you feel the stretch as you walk fingertips forward and center. Right fingertips slide down right leg. Left arm reaches over. Whew, feeling that nice stretch in the side body. Very slowly and gently coming up. Bring it to the other side. Nice sway. And then we'll bring our hands behind us, opening up our chest. We'll bring our legs together for Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose. Maybe take one moment to slow down, give your feet a little massage or connection to the earth. All right, we can't forget about the outer hips. So we're gonna come into, it kind of looks like a figure 4 when you're sitting. We're gonna bring the right leg up. So if you look down, sort of looks like the shape of a 4. And we'll flex this foot. Some people like to sway, or maybe you stay. And if you're looking for a more intense stretch, this bottom foot, we'll bring it in to intensify the stretch, or you can slide it out. And then we'll switch the legs. Again, option to sway. And release. All right, so a little bit of breath work. We're gonna come into Shitali, or it's also called cooling breath. And that's just a nice way to cool the body down, you know, after maybe just went for a run or a walk. It's been so hot out. Let's take a moment to slow down, calm our central nervous system. And if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes to really tune in. And we're gonna pretend we're sipping water through a straw on our inhale. So our lips will come to an O shape. So we'll inhale, sip through our straw, exhale through the nose, and repeat. Inhale through our straw. Notice that cooling sensation in your mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. And take a couple more rounds at your pace. And wherever you are, we'll finish that round. And we'll tuck the chin towards the chest. And looking to the right. And letting your neck hang heavy as you come through the center. To the right. And center. Rolling nice and slow so we don't give ourselves whiplash. Turning your gaze up towards the sky, opening the front of the throat. In center, we'll inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, heart center. Namaste.